Hi everyone, I'm Melissa,
And I'm Katie,
and this is The Coffee Experiment.
the podcast for coffee lovers.
Hi everyone, welcome back to our podcast. Katie and I are really excited because today we have a special guest joining us on this podcast, and I'm really excited. I've known Ashton for a couple years now through my coffee shop, so I'm really excited to get to know her more and talk to her. But Ashton is a holistic nutritionist and medical esthetician. So she's going to talk to us about all of the coffee things and other things that have to do with holistic nutrition and skincare, all that kind of stuff. I'm really excited to have her on here. So thanks for joining us and welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, welcome. Yeah, it's always fun to I don't know, just learn everything in how it surrounds coffee and and holistic nutrition and all of that and see how it all connects. So it's really interesting.
Yeah. Well, hopefully I can help connect the dots for some people and convince them that coffee is the best thing ever.
I'm glad you're saying that because that makes me
Okay.
feel better. But so with these interview episodes, guys, we kind of do the same thing that we did the past couple, where we have 6 questions that we want to ask, and if we go on tangents, then we do. But Katie is gonna ask some questions, and I'm gonna ask some questions, and Ashton's just gonna talk, and we're all gonna yap, and we're all gonna deep dive and learn together.
I'm
So
here for it.
Um, Ashton, please tell us a little bit about yourself. Kind of give us some background.
Okay. So let's see. Where do I begin? Um, so I will talk about whenever I was 21. So whenever I was 21, I really got hit with some hard news. I was 21 years old and diagnosed with cancer. And I feel like that really opened, well, it shook my world a little bit, but it just really opened my eyes to a lot of things. Whenever I became an esthetician, I was 19 or 20. I should know that, but I don't. And I quickly realized how in sync our skin is with our health, like our internal health. Things that you eat and how much that can affect your skin, your environment, those type of things. And then going through cancer, it just really kind of, I was feeling this like yank that I needed to, take better care of myself. I thought I took good care of myself, but it really made me take a deep dive into things, what I'm eating, what I'm around, my environment, my atmosphere, all those types of things. So that's what made me become a holistic nutritionist. I also went to nursing school. And so I definitely got a good look at, clinical aspect of things, hospital settings, and then continued on with skincare. So it's been a long journey, but a very rewarding one. I feel like I'm always constantly learning things. But my biggest slogan that I tell everyone is what you put in your body reflects out. So that's kind of, I guess, where I'll leave off with that. We can
yeah.
dive into other things.
I've been learning about that kind of stuff too. Like it's so important what you do and what you eat and what you drink and everything, which is why we've talked before too about how important or how not important coffee is and how caffeine can really affect you in ways that you don't realize, which is why another reason why I'm so excited to talk to you about this because I'm
Yeah.
intrigued in your input because, there's Katie and I have deep dive on Reddit. We've, done our own research and we've concluded what we think, but it's going to be interesting to see what you think having gone to school for all that and all that, kind of thing along that
Yeah.
line.
I'm excited to learn more about that, and that's absolutely crazy that you were diagnosed with cancer so young, and it does happen to people,
Oh,
and
yeah.
so that's absolutely crazy, and I'm so glad that you were able to go on a journey, out of that, and now it's led you, somewhere else where you are learning about nutrition and, where you can teach other people. I think that's really awesome.
Well, thank you.
You have a very powerful story.
Aw, thanks.
Oh, goodness. It's great to learn more about you. So, now that we know a little bit more about you, let's talk specifics about coffee. So, the first question that we've asked every guest we've had is, what is your coffee origin story? So, basically, when did you officially become a coffee lover?
Well, it all started probably when I was about 4. No, I'm just kidding. But really, my papa, he always drank coffee in the mornings, and whenever I was a little girl, I wanted to be like my papa, and he would make me mostly milk with a dab of coffee, but I thought I was big stuff back then.
Yeah.
But all of my grandparents drank coffee, and so it was kind of just spending that good quality time with them and having like a warm beverage, I really like probably earlier than most. I was like 16 and I lived with my grandmother. So her and I, that's how we would spend our mornings together. She was getting ready for work, I was getting ready for school, and I'd have coffee with her, and that would be kind of our catch up time or just kind of like preparing for the day.
I love it. That's
But
such a blessing. Like
yeah,
I just getting that like cozy feeling from just hearing that.
aw, I do. I really think it's like there's just something so special. It's almost like a ritual, like how to start your day. But I really like dove into loving coffee like my mid 20s, where I started like experimenting, like curiosity really grew. I moved to Nashville, so coffee shops were there's so many ranges of coffee shops, local coffee shops, all the things. I started learning like the lingo because I had no idea what like drip coffee was or a pour over. I had no clue. I was so used to just using like an old school coffee pot, because that's how I grew up. Everyone used a coffee pot. And
Yeah.
then probably whenever I was in high school, maybe when the Keurig came out. And that was big stuff. But growing up, it was either a coffee pot or a percolator, which percolated coffee is excellent too.
Oh, it's
But
so good. It's so good.
but I definitely, I guess I like, grew up being a coffee lover, but really indulged in my mid 20s.
Okay.
Same.
Awesome. Yeah, I actually love hearing all of these stories because other people that we've talked to, or just people that in preparation for this podcast, I interviewed a lot of different people, and a lot of them have a similar story where they had coffee as like a centerpiece of their like ritual, and they use that
Yeah.
word. They're like,
Yes.
it's a ritual, and I think that's really cool that a lot of people use that word anyway.
I,
So
I
I
love
like
that.
it.
I love that story. Anyway, so question number two is, what is your most unhinged, controversial coffee opinion? And it
Love
might be
this
something that you
question.
might be afraid to say, but it's okay because you can say it.
I don't know. My brain goes to like two different places. I mean, the one that I feel like most, I won't say it's unhinged though, but um um like the topic of coffee being bad for you, that's one that I guess strikes a nerve for me because I feel like I have a lot of clients that think that coffee's bad for them. And I'm like, no, 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 it's not. I mean, coffee's definitely not for everybody. Well, it's kind of a two-part question or answer here. So my first one is for the unhinged part. My first instinct is to talk about coffee enemas. I feel like, especially in like the holistic world, the quote unquote quote like crunchy world,
Mhm.
coffee enemas, and it's all the buzz. Like people are very curious of them. So I won't say like everybody should do it, and it is definitely far from like something that you would think is normal. But I will say they do have their place and benefits. Um, but I definitely wouldn't recommend it for all people. And I definitely think you have to have the personality for that. However, I do think that they can be very beneficial. So a coffee enema is kind of exactly how it sounds.
That was my next question. I was gonna say that sounds fascinating. What is it?
So you basically brew coffee and you pump it into your rare with
Okay.
like with like a tube, or there's usually you can buy like a kit for this, and that's probably what I would recommend people to do. But it is really good for detoxifying the liver, stimulating bowel movements that can really help with healing, like inflammation. Um, there are some risk, and people do get like addicted to it. So that's where
Oh.
it's a whole different, yeah, it's wild. You would totally
Oh,
not think that,
wow.
but yes, it's a very interesting topic for sure because people, I mean, some people drink coffee and have to run to the bathroom. So whenever
Yep.
you're doing it from the other way, it definitely works. So people like it for like the weight loss aspect, and there is really good health benefits. So they love how energized they feel, because it's really cleaning them out. So they just have this huge boost of energy.
Oh my
Um,
goodness. I'm
yeah.
fascinated
So
by that.
That's really interesting because and I I was going to mention because you mentioned that some people get addicted to it.
mhm.
Guys, if you go on the show My Strange Addiction, it's
Oh,
probably kind of
No
an old
way.
episode.
No
There
way.
is an episode about how a gal is addicted to coffee enema.
I remember seeing that.
Oh my
And
goodness. This is a whole
I
new
thought
and
world for me, guys.
it's so crazy. I'm like, how could you get addicted to that? That is so weird." She needed to do, like, 12 of them a day, like,
Oh.
something crazy like that.
it's well, I think the thing too, which once you get into the natural, like crunchy world, some things that you would think like before would be gross, you just don't like, you don't think it is at all because you're so used to it. But the process and like, because most of the time you're, laying on the floor or something doing this. So it
Mm.
is very, you definitely want to be like sanitary and have a space for it because I feel like I've personally never done it, but I feel like it would be very messy.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds messy.
Oh my
Um,
goodness. That is so fascinating. This is one of the reasons why I love our interview episodes, Katie, because I feel like you and I learn so much.
You never know what's gonna come up.
That was a
I was
very
trying to
unhinged controversial. That was a good one.
I was trying to keep it like PG, but that it was the first thing that came to mind for sure is coffee enema. But to kind of roll into that too, um, like the addiction and where I feel like sometimes coffee can get a bad name.
Mhm.
Um, like caffeine and coffee, they're not bad for you. It's more so the aspects. So caffeine is found in a lot of natural or things naturally, like caffeine, or I'm sorry, like coffee, like green tea, like chocolate, like dark chocolate. And all of those are wonderful for you. Of course, you want to be mindful of how much caffeine you consume in a day. You know, typically 200 milligrams is ideal. Sure, you can go over that somewhat, but you don't, that's where the crash, like the caffeine crash and all of that can kind of come in.
Okay.
Um, and
Yes.
then you like energy drinks. Energy drinks have been super popular forever, but most of them have ingredients that aren't ideal and our
Yeah.
body doesn't recognize because they're synthetic. So that's where, that can come into play and cause health issues. But overall, I think coffee is wonderful for you. There's just a few things that you want to like look for whenever you have coffee or whenever you're drinking coffee. And something that I recommend to nutrition clients is things that you use daily. Those are the healthy swaps that you want to make. So, for instance, with coffee, if you're someone who drinks coffee every day, you want a good quality, good sourced coffee. So, organic
Mm.
coffee is the best way to go because of the process. It's totally different from conventional coffee. And this is kind of unhinged, but I feel like could be nice for people to know.
Mhm.
So, whenever coffee beans and things are harvested conventionally, like the process of everything, there can be mold that grows on them. There can be
Mhm.
insects. There can be feces from like animals, mice, all types of different things. And so, the care conventionally versus organic is totally different. Organic, not all of them are mold tested, but a lot of them are mold tested, but they're processed a lot more carefully. They don't have all of those harmful like chemicals and things sprayed on them. So it's a lot better for your body. So that's where there's that, controversy of
Yeah.
coffee. and people thinking that it's bad for you.
Interesting. Katie and I did an episode about that a couple weeks ago where we talked about coffee and mold, and we learned a lot
Mhm.
in that episode. But I had a fun idea for the email gift this week, Katie. What if
Oh yeah.
Ashton privately told us a couple organic coffee brands, and that's what we put in the email?
Ooh, yeah, where we could, put some of those in. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Um,
awesome.
Also, since I'm on the topic, like crashing like caffeine, like a crash from your morning coffee or whatever, a lot of times that also has to do with what you're putting in it. Um,
Mm. Like creamers and
yes,
stuff like that. Yeah. I
yeah.
could see that.
Uh, a lot of people like creamer with a dab of coffee.
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
or the
Yeah.
syrups, syrups are very popular too. So that's another thing of like being mindful, which we can kind of circle back to that, but like being
Yeah, I have
mindful
that.
of
Yep.
what you're putting in. And then yes, your coffee maker can matter too because um of plastics, like the plastics warming up,
I was just about to
and
talk about
lifting chemicals.
microplastics with K-cups.
Yes.
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 I can't
Oh.
use my Keurig anymore because I literally cannot fathom microplastics in my coffee. So I just like use French press or pour over, and I'm
Mhm.
honestly thinking about just getting rid of my Keurig because I just can't. And then even like the Nespressos with like those
Mhm.
pods, like I don't know, I can't do it anymore. I just can't ignore the fact that I'm brewing microplastics into my coffee.
Oh, I was such
Melissa, I wanted to tell Melissa that congratulations on finally making it to this side where we don't use Keurig.
yeah.
Thank you. I'm on my crunchy
Yeah.
journey, as you guys
I
know. It's getting really bad and out of hand, but it's okay.
I've hated Keurigs for
You
years.
have.
Like
Same.
for like 10 years. I'm like,
Same.
I hate these things. I have a
It's
vendetta against them. So
Isn't it crazy though? Like once you know things, like you just can't do it. You
Yeah.
just can't do it.
No.
I can't. I've tried it just to be like polite if someone's went to make me coffee or something, and I just can't. And I used to
Yeah.
be an espresso girly through and through, and I
Oh
can't do
yeah.
that anymore either. Like it's so crazy, how once you know things, you just can't go back.
Yep. Yep, I started making my
but
own creamer,
it's
which
the
I know
thing.
that later in the episode I have a question about creamers for you, so I won't get into it now. But
Yeah.
like I started making my own creamers and stuff too, just because like I don't know, I'm on that journey of just like I need to make everything and I need to not have plastics and I need to just like be really cautious about my skincare and like all
Yeah.
that stuff because me and my husband are actually like we're trying to get pregnant and we're dealing with some fertility stuff.
Oh,
And so
I
like
love that.
all these changes that we're making are like not just for that, but now it's like a lifestyle change. And it's just the same thing, which I've talked about
Absolutely.
in previous episodes, where it's like I'm trying to switch my whole wardrobe out. I don't want any more like polyester stuff in my wardrobe.
Yeah.
And I don't, I'm trying to get rid of all that kind of stuff slowly but surely because it's expensive.
Mhm.
But it's a
Sure.
whole journey. I could go on and on about it. I'll stop. But you,
Well, you message me anytime. Like I can always help you with fertility stuff. That is
okay.
like with what I do, that is a big topic like I help a lot of people with. So I'd
Oh,
be happy
really?
to help.
Okay.
Yes.
You after this episode, I'm about to text you. About to air
Okay,
all
so
my personal stuff to you about
Tell me
that.
all the things, girl.
Okay, well, I'm getting us off track. So, Katie, bring us back. Help.
okay, I will bring us back. All right. So, where are we? Okay, we are on. So now we just did the controversial coffee opinion. We're on question number 3, which is if you could drink one type of coffee for life, what would it be?
Okay. So when we say type, are we talking about like a latte, like that kind of thing?
I
Like
mean,
what kind of
it's up
beverage?
to you. Yeah, it's up
Okay.
to you. I mean,
Okay.
whatever you love the best that you wouldn't mind, drinking for the rest of your life if you had to pick one.
Okay. So I have an espresso machine or espresso, yeah. Okay, espresso. Lord, my brain's not now. So I have an espresso machine and I truly love it. Like just, the crema, like everything about it, I could just drink that straight. But I do feel like that would definitely have some pep in my step. So I typically make a latte every day and it's something that I literally look forward to every morning and I have to tell myself like I cut myself off at 2.
Smart.
Yeah.
because I could do it all
Smart.
the time. I have like one in the afternoon. But it's definitely my go-to, and I either use honey or maple syrup, a pinch
Mm,
of salt, and then, my espresso, and I froth my milk, and that's my drink.
there you go.
I never get tired of it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I
I
love that.
I love that.
Mhm. At
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
coffee shop, because you guys know that and I've talked about this before. I know that our syrups are terrible for you, and so if I do put syrup in my coffee there, it's like one pump of something, but I've been just putting like just raw honey in my drinks or like nothing, or we do have maple in the back, so Ashton, if you come,
Oh,
just, just
okay.
tell them, "Hey, I want maple." Mel said it's fine.
Yeah.
But like
Okay.
but you would say like I want actual maple like from the back,
Yeah.
not the Monin syrup. But like that's what I've been doing just because I know that and our brown sugar bourbon is house made, so there's not a lot of
I
there's
do
like no
love that one.
chemicals in that either, but like the
Yeah.
rest of it is just I can't do it anymore. Like I just and I feel bad serving it to customers too, but but
I
people like
know.
what they
Well,
like. So
that's what I was gonna say, but they don't, most of them don't care.
they don't.
I and Monin is the lesser of evils. Like Monin actually has pretty decent ingredients. Like I know that there's some that have a few things, but overall, like they're very simple. I love
Yeah.
the Monin over the Taroni. So,
Yep.
if that makes you feel better.
It does. We have both. The Monin ones I do prefer.
Hmm.
But we've even tried to like make because I keep seeing all these TikToks where it's like if I walk into your coffee shop and I see Tarani syrups, then it's immediately an ick and I'm leaving. And I'm like, okay, but the thing is like we've tested Barista 22, house made syrups, Monin, Tarani, and we have found that even though I prefer house made syrups, our customer base does not like house made
That's
syrups.
what's so
It
hard.
doesn't make
That
sense
is
to me.
what's so hard. I know. And okay, so sorry, we're gonna get off topic real quick for a second, but you'll find like with my aesthetic business, I struggled with that too. But then I had to do what resonated, and you don't get me wrong, money is money and you have to make money and you want your customers to be happy. So that's the most important thing. But for me, I just had to do what resonated with me, and my people like found me, and so I
Yeah,
feel like you'll have that too. Like you'll have your regulars, you'll have your people that stay with you no matter what because they love what you serve and like who you are and the type of place and atmosphere that you provide.
right.
So I finally did that and I couldn't be happier. Like I have some of the best clients.
That's great. I
Yeah.
remember we started making vanilla and then I was really proud of it because I was like, yes, finally, like now we have two housemate, we have vanilla and like that goes in everything. So like, I'm really excited we have this. And then we had like a 2 week span of everybody being like, your vanilla is disgusting. What did you do to it? And
Oh
then
my gosh.
we switched back because I was like, first of all, it's way more
I'd
cost
cry.
effective to just use Tarani. Second of all,
Yes,
if nobody likes our vanilla, then we might as well stop making it. But I
absolutely.
was so brokenhearted over it. I was like, because I loved it better. I loved it better. I liked it better, and I'm like, why do our regulars not like our house-made syrups? But then people are gonna go on TikTok and be like, oh, if a coffee shop doesn't have house-made syrups, I'm not going. And I'm like, but you
I
don't even
know.
like it.
I think it also depends on the region too.
That too. Yeah.
It definitely does. Like I deal with people who want like the fruity, smelly, like everything smell good, and a lot of what I use is herbs or
Yes.
I use plant like fruits, things like that too, and they smell great. But yeah, I went through that too. Like a lot of people hate the smell of essential oils and like lavender in coffee. A lot of people would be like, "Ew, why would you do that?" But it's delicious.
Yeah.
I think it's just taste. You kind of acquire it as you go. Same with coffee. I feel like, that's a huge thing. My taste buds changed. Like whenever I was younger, oh yeah, give me all that creamer and a little coffee, and now I'm the complete opposite.
Yeah. What do you
Yeah.
think, Katie?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, I'm actually really surprised that people don't like your house-made syrups, Melissa, because
Me
from
too.
experience, like I
They're
love
so good.
the brown sugar bourbon one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
And
it
the rosemary vanilla. Is it rosemary vanilla
Yeah, the
or
rosemary vanilla. That one is also enjoyed, but not as much as like the Tarani, which I don't understand.
it's so crazy?
well,
I
I
see.
I don't
I'm a
know.
weirdo.
No, it's not I mean, like people should like that. I mean, I think it's maybe from I don't know, maybe people really love that, like, synthetic, like, taste. I mean, I know for a
It is
while
very
I'm gonna bash my brother really
Do
quick.
it.
Maybe one day he'll listen to this podcast. I don't think he's listened yet. Anyway, but for years so, like, for example, like, pure maple syrup versus, like, Mrs. Butterworth's, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yes.
Where you have, like, that corn
Preach.
syrup, but then you have, like,
Mhm.
actual maple syrup. For years, my brother, that's all he would eat because it's what, like, we had when we were, like, kids, and so because maybe people assume that kids won't like the pure maple syrup, I don't know. But when I married my husband, he's like, "No, we're not buying that, that's disgusting. We're getting maple syrup," and I was like, "Okay, fine, jeez." Like, and then we eat it, and of course it's better, over time, but I think some people just get that taste of like, "I like this taste, even if it's not as
Mhm.
good as the real thing or the natural thing." But then eventually, like, when you just try it and you use it, it's just I don't know, it's just better, I don't know. So,
Yeah.
anyway.
Well, that's
No, it's very
actually
true.
yeah, it's a good segue too because the next question I have for you, Ashton, is
Mhm.
like sweeteners and creamers and like overall are sweeteners and creamers bad for you and what are some alternatives? And I feel like with the maple syrup thing, it's
Mhm.
like we get so used to this chemical sugary taste and
Mhm.
then you don't realize how good and how natural the authentic stuff actually is. So, I mean, I can like, kids and stuff growing up on that super sugary chemical like just nasty like syrup and then when
Yeah,
they get older and switch to a maple, they're like, "Oh, this is gross" because they're used to the sugar content, you know?
exactly. Well, and there's literally, I mean, it's something like the fructose corn syrup, things like that. Like
Mhm.
fructose corn syrup's what's in Mrs. Butter. I think it's Mrs. Butterworth or whatever maple syrups we grew up on.
Yeah.
And it is literally um, made to kind of train like the chemicals and things in it train us to want that taste, like to crave that taste. And so it almost like um I don't know what word I'm looking for here, but it just takes away like that's what you're so used to, that's what you crave, that's what you want. So it
Yeah.
takes a while for you to acquire a different taste and get used to natural things. But
Right.
in regard to your question, of course I'm all about natural is better. So what I was saying with my like the coffee I have every day, doing something like honey or maple syrup. And honestly, you don't like maple syrup, you don't need a lot because it's so thin anyway. It's kind of similar to how a syrup would be, like you don't need um 5 pumps of maple syrup. You just need a little bit because it's really sweet.
Mhm.
And so cane sugar is also great. Like you, because growing up used to, it was like milk and sugar, that was your cream or whatever.
Right.
So cane sugar is fine. Brown sugar is fine because brown sugar has molasses in it. That's what makes it brown. And molasses actually has so many health benefits.
Mm.
But some other alternatives, because a lot of people are worried about like calories and how much like grams of sugar and things like that. So stevia, monk fruit, and uh, I cannot pronounce things. I can spell it for you, but I can't, X Xyitol. That is it's similar to monk fruit, but it doesn't have a calorie count. So a lot of people like those alternatives because they can, mind their sugar intake or their calorie intake or whatever.
Mhm.
And making your creamer at home is great too, but there are some creamers that you can buy at the store that are totally fine. The things that you want to look for in creamers are inflammatory oils. You absolutely do not want any inflammatory oils. And Coffee Mate is one of the worst. I know I'm about to hurt a lot of people's feelings, but Coffee Mate is terrible. They do not, I don't think they have anything clean. And they're the ones that advertise for huge like amounts of sugar free or zero sugar, and it's just chemicals in a bottle.
Mm.
So I do
Interesting.
love like Chobani creamer makes um a pretty simple creamer. Like it's just cream. They have a vanilla, they have a sweet cream, which that's the one that I typically will buy. Oh, I take that back about Coffee Mate. They do have Natural Bliss, which
Oh,
is
okay.
simple ingredients. Like their big logo on the front is only 4 ingredients. Depending on, they have a vanilla and they have a sweet cream that I know are fine. It's just milk, cream, sugar, and I think the vanilla has natural flavor. But you just want to look for simple ingredients when you look at a creamer. There should not be 10 ingredients on there, and there should not be any oils in your creamer or gums.
Yeah.
And I have seen milk or someone like a cleaner um, oat milk or almond milk, your nut milks.
That
I
was my next
just saw
question.
recently. Yeah, I just saw where they started one of the brands that's very common started making creamer, and I'm kind of excited about that because I do know that some people just cannot tolerate dairy very well.
Yeah, I can't. Is it the nut pod? Is it nut pod, I wonder?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Um, I want to say it's Malk
I
or
love that brand. I use their oat
I love
milk.
Malk.
It's so good.
Malk is good.
Malt.
Three
Malt.
Seeds, I think is what it's
Emmett.
called.
Malt. I'm sorry.
Malk. And then there's what is it, Califia or
Oh, yeah. We used to use their oat
um
milk at the coffee shop, and then we switched to Oatly because, you know.
yeah, it's probably more affordable. I know that you in some brands you still have to watch like ingredient and label reading is such a power. It's a
It
superpower, it
is.
really.
It is.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
definitely think just being mindful of ingredients whenever it comes to what you're putting in.
Yeah.
If it says zero sugar on it, just leave it there.
That's what I tell
Yeah,
my
I
customers too. Sorry, Katie, what?
oh, no, you're fine. I love, yeah, like what you're saying about creamers and stuff. I will say I wanna do, like, a little caveat here because I do drink Coffee Mate now. I so I'm one of those people. I do drink it.
I'm sorry.
No, you do not offend me whatsoever because I know it's not great. But I also know that this is how I live my life, it's just balance, right?
Mhm. Yeah,
So I think that balance is something else people should
80/20.
keep in mind as well. Like, if you're gonna drink something like that, okay, I mean, you know it's probably not the best thing for you. You know, there's all these things, that you could do that are better, like all those things. And I have had my bouts of where I make my own creamer and like that kind of thing. But I
Yeah.
want people to remember too that like I think for me, I know that just, having balance in your life is really important. So yeah. So Coffee Mate, I'm working on it. I love Coffee Mate. I'm gonna be honest. So those of you who are listening, if you love Coffee Mate, it's all right.
You'll have to try the or have you ever tried the one that I was talking about, the Natural Bliss, one?
Yeah, I've tried a lot of different ones and I like a lot of different ones. But sometimes for some people, it comes down to price too,
Yeah,
and that's
that's
a big
Yeah.
true.
thing right now also.
That is
So,
hard with like going down that holistic crunchy journey is that the price goes
Yes.
up. But one thing my dad always told me that really stuck with me, my voice today. He told me, and this is kind of harsh, but he was like, because I always told him, like, I'm gonna do what's cheaper because, like, I just have to. And he's like, okay, well, would you rather pay more now or more later
Yeah,
in hospital bills?
it's
And I'm
very,
like,
very
oh,
true. I know. That's where I agree with what Katie said. Like it is all about balance. And I'm a mom. I'm a mom of two and under. So I'm crazy some days and I don't have time to read ingredient labels for one. And
sure.
when you have kids or just anyone in general, like money matters, cost of things
Mm-hmm.
matter. So I do believe in like the balance. I try to tell my nutrition clients, especially like 80/20. If
Yeah.
you can be good for 5 days out of the week, that's great, and you have 2 days of cheating or however you want to put it.
Yeah.
But
sure. I like that.
it's
Yeah.
you have to find the balance because we live in a world where unfortunately you can't be all or nothing. And also your mental health matters too. So that is where I really talk to my nutrition clients, especially about like giving yourself grace and just taking baby steps because eventually you'll get there and you'll learn. Or you just focus on the things that matter most in your life, the things you use every single day. Because unfortunately, we live in a world where chemicals are in the air, there's pesticides
Mm-hmm.
on our lawns, all of that, and you
Sure.
can't do anything to stop that. So
Yeah.
I agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think, yeah, for sure. I just think, balance is all about that. Because as far as, like, yeah, I don't know, I could talk about this for a while. Yeah, balance is really
Balance is
important to me
key. Balance is key.
because I've been, because everyone's been at a point in their life where they're like, oh, they're trying to do all the things, or do all the health things. And at the end of the day, I think if you're trying to do too much, and what's too much for you could be fine for someone else. And that's like something else to keep in mind too, is
Yeah.
like, yeah, like, and it all comes down to like what you're feeling and what you need to do. But all these things are good to know. Like the information that we have is good to know. It's better to know it than to not. So
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
I
I
think
agree.
for
Well,
sure.
I'm gonna move us on. We'll have
Yeah.
to have Ashton back on another episode and just like do a free form episode, but I'm gonna move us
Yes.
on for sake of time. Um, okay, so you were talking to me about electrolyte coffee, and I'm intrigued by
Yeah.
that. So can you elaborate on electrolyte coffee and what that means and what that entails?
Sure. So this is something that like I personally make myself and kind of came up with. Again, breastfeeding, being a mom, all the things I have to stay hydrated and I love coffee. So I was like, how can I put both of these together? So this is definitely more of like an iced coffee. But it's just two ingredients. You have coconut water and then you have ground coffee. And they make like those pitchers. I think one of my sweet clients actually bought it for me, but I'm pretty sure it was from Amazon, where it's like a glass pitcher and it has like a colander or
Oh yeah,
strainer.
the infuser, the
For-
infuser pitcher.
yes,
Yeah.
I'm glad you know what I'm talking about. So you just put your ground coffee in there and then you pour the coconut water over top of it and you pour like a whole big thing of it in there and then you just put it in the refrigerator and I typically let mine sit for like 24 hours because I like strong coffee, but you can do it, 10 to 24 hours, totally up to you. And then you just take the strainer out and there you go. You have electrolytes. Because
Oh,
coconut water is so full of vitamins, minerals, all the good things to hydrate our body. And so
mhm.
then you can just add your creamer or whatever and pour it over ice and go.
It's essentially a cold brew. That because that's how you
Yes,
make cold
cold
brew.
brew.
Only instead of using
Yes.
water, you're using coconut water. So essentially, you're just swapping out the water for cold brew. I love
Now
that.
I will
I'm gonna have to
say
try
you have
that.
to absolutely. I
That
will say
is
you have to love
cool.
Yeah,
coconut, but it is I love it. I love coconut, so I think it's delicious.
I'm doing that. I have all the ingredients already at my house, and
There
as
you
soon as
go.
we're done recording, I'm doing that. I'm putting it.
Yes.
I'm doing it.
Let me know how you like it.
I will.
Yeah. Melissa, that sounds like something that you would like
I
a lot,
think I would.
actually. I don't like I don't know if I don't know, like, I okay, I feel like I really want to like that, like, I want to like it. I don't know if I could do it, though. I don't know, I'd have to try it to see, because
Yeah.
there's lots of things that have surprised me, but I have a very, like, I don't know. I got with my taste, I don't know, because Melissa's had to convince me a lot to, like, try different things and be like,
Yeah.
"No, like, you have to try, like, this flavor combination." Like, it took me forever to combine, like, fruit flavors, like, with coffee, like,
Mhm. The blackberry
um,
and, like, vanilla or something.
blackberry or, like, strawberry or, like, blueberry and, like, that kinda thing, and
Y
I love it now, so I don't know, maybe I'd like it.
yeah, you
It
and
sounds good.
I think it's great for the summertime too because, like, the
Yeah,
heat and everything, we're all dehydrated, so it's great.
yeah, that's awesome.
I'm definitely gonna try that, and I'll let you guys know what I think. But
Yeah.
okay. Um,
Yeah.
so the last like kind of question I had for you was
Mhm.
not about coffee, but about green
Okay.
tea. I know Katie, you really like green tea. You and Isaac really like it. I do not
Yes.
like green tea.
Mhm.
But I think I could be persuaded. So give us the scoop on green tea and the benefits of that or the caffeine or however whatever direction you want to take us.
Okay. So green tea is amazing for you. It truly is. It is so good because it is full of antioxidants. So I personally try to drink green tea. I get on my kicks, sometimes I fall off, but I try to drink green tea regularly because it is known to be cancer killing.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
so
Mhm.
um, it also improves your brain function. It helps with like the circulation, so it's heart healthy. It's known to aid in like weight management or weight loss. It is wonderful for your skin because antioxidants feed our skin, so that's what gives us that beautiful glow and anti-aging. So there's anti-aging benefits there. It's also great for blood sugar, like blood sugar control. There's again kind of like coordinating with cancer killing. It's also great for your immunity and it is antibacterial.
Oh.
So it does have caffeine, but it also has an amino acid. I believe it's amino acid. L-theanine,
L-theanine?
theanine. Yes.
Yeah, I take a
Oh,
supplement
yeah,
for
yeah.
that. I love it.
So, green tea and matcha. Matcha is great for you too. You just have to be careful with matcha because of the sugar. Like
Yes.
sometimes there are, pre-made and full of sugar. So you kind of want to be mindful of like how much matcha you're drinking a day. But I'm a big fan. They have wonderful benefits.
Interesting. That's good to know.
Yeah.
That makes me want to give it another try. Do you and
Yeah.
Isaac still drink
You should
it in
try
the
it.
evening, Katie? Do you guys still?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just drink the decaffeinated kind,
Mhm.
so
Okay.
it doesn't have, caffeine in it, but there are times, like, during the day, like, when I decide to drink some also that, like, the caffeinated version or, like, there's others that have, like, different fruits mixed with it, like, there's an elderberry green tea that
Ooh,
I've
Mhm.
tried.
that sounds
So you
good.
could try one with, like, a berry flavor and see if you like it.
Yeah. There's all kinds of good options out there for sure. Again, with green tea, you definitely, if you can afford it or are able, you want to buy organic just because quality, but it is truly so, so good. And tea, honestly, I feel like usually tea is a more budget friendly option
Yeah,
also.
Mhm.
it definitely can be, for sure. Yeah.
Interesting. I really feel like I learned a lot.
Something I wanted to circle back to really
Yeah.
quick since we were talking about the benefits. I kind of wanted to talk about the benefits of coffee.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think maybe I did a little, but um, so similar with green tea, it's really good for um, liver health, like because it opens up your detox pathways, kind of like, going to the bathroom. It aids with digestion, which green tea, if you drink it hot, it also can aid with digestion because all that warmth really wakes up our system and helps everything kind of flow and remove itself. Um, Coffee also can is known to lower the risk of cancer occurrences, especially like colon cancer. It's great for people who have diabetes. My sister is a diabetic, and she is a trooper. She just drinks black coffee and loves it, but
Wow.
she does it because of the health benefits for her type 1 diabetes. Also, it reduces your risk for Alzheimer's.
Oh,
And
interesting.
it's a mood booster, which I find that really cool. Like,
Mhm.
how all of us were talking about, like, it being a ritual or something we look forward to in the mornings. There's literally science that kind of backs that. Like, it's known to be a natural antidepressant, a mood booster to just kind of uplift you. So I think that that's awesome too.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's
That's
awesome.
that's great, and I'm glad that you talked about that because I know that there's a lot of people out there that say that coffee and caffeine is bad for you, and I am among the mindset that it's good for you. So it's interesting
Yeah.
and nice to hear about how and why it's good for you.
Oh, okay. Just touching on that. Sorry, my brain's starting to work. It's starting to
No,
wake up.
you're good.
The coffee's kicking in. No. So with like some people are like, oh, I can't drink coffee because it hurts my belly.
Mhm.
So a lot of people, when they first wake up, they drink coffee. And I really try to stress that you should drink some water first, to just kind of wake up your body. And it's really great if you drink like warm water. And you can put a little like salt or lemon in there. That's kind of an added electrolyte and it really
Okay.
helps with digestion, that kind of thing. So it
Okay.
really helps wake things up. And so it is ideal to eat breakfast. I know a lot of us like don't have time or whatever, but it is ideal to also eat breakfast or drink our coffee with our breakfast, whichever, first, and then have our coffee just because people usually realize that their belly doesn't hurt after because they have something on their stomach because
Yeah.
sometimes caffeine or the acidity from coffee can kind of disrupt things. So I did want to touch on that too.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a good point. I mean, because I think a lot of people skip breakfast and just have
Mhm.
coffee instead. Or I know people like that do that.
I do that.
Um,
I
and
used to.
I've done it. I've done it before. Or people that do people that do energy drinks and then
Ooh.
don't eat breakfast.
Ooh.
Uh, oh no. I'm
I try
sorry.
not to do that,
I
like,
can't.
with the coffee, but I'm so bad about it. I've been better. We have a mutual friend, Ashton, Kelsey, you know who I'm talking about.
Yes,
She gets on
yes.
me about that all the time. She's like, "You need to eat first," and I'm like, "I know, but I don't." And then Katie gets on to me about it too, and
Like, eat something,
Yeah,
'cause I
absolutely. Even if it's
your
piece
belly
of
is gonna hurt.
I know.
Right. Well, Melissa, I just still remember like things like when we lived in North Carolina because Melissa has, you can't have, dairy. So
Yeah.
but there would be times where we would like go somewhere and she'd be like, I'm gonna get a donut and I'm gonna eat it. And and I'm like, Melissa, like your belly is gonna hurt so much. You're like, it's worth it. It's fine.
Hey,
I'll just do
it
it.
is worth it, okay? But
But see, that's what I mean, yeah, about yeah, it's all balance,
Balance.
if you know the information, you know the
Yes.
information.
You just have to indulge a little bit sometimes. You just have to have that sweet treat that is, gonna spike your blood sugar, but it's okay. You can take a
yeah,
nap.
it is
Yeah,
important.
it's fine.
But so, okay, Ashton, so for people out there listening who want to like follow you and want to like, see more of your journey, where can they find you? What kind of social media do you have? Or if they want to contact you for coaching or whatever, like plug yourself.
Yeah. So I should probably have a better answer for this than what I do. I typically work off of referral, so that that doesn't really work for this, but I do have like Facebook wise, they can just look up my name, or I do have an Instagram. I hardly have any followers because I made it and kind of forgot about it because mom life, but I've been meaning to circle back. So let me tell you my handle because I don't even know the name of it. That's terrible.
That's okay. You also
Um,
have a TikTok too.
That's okay.
yes,
I follow you on your
yes,
TikTok and you post a lot of videos on there about like all this kind of stuff that you've been talking about. And you also have like a Facebook page that you post into that's really informational.
yes, a group.
Yeah.
See, look, you know more than me.
I got you.
Skin Therapy Mamas is my Instagram handle, and then TikTok is, I think it's, if it'll load, um, the Skin and Food Babe on TikTok, and then I do have a Facebook group, and it is called Healthy Living from the Inside Out. So definitely plenty of ways to get a hold of me,
Yeah.
and just message me and tell me what you're interested in or what you need help with, and I am definitely happy to help any way I can.
Awesome. Well, hey, thank
Awesome.
you so much for coming on the podcast. I know I loved having you. I know Katie loved having you, and I learned a lot. And it means a lot that you came on and supported us. And yeah, thank
Absolutely.
you.
I feel honored. Thank you
Yeah.
for having me. And if, you have any questions, just always reach out. Happy to
Of
help.
course.
Well,
Well, does anybody
awesome.
else have like Katie? Do you have anything you want to say or ask? Or Ashton, do you have anything else that you guys want to say or ask?
Yeah, I
I
think
don't.
I'm
I'm. Yeah. I think I don't have anything else. No more. Yeah. I have any more questions?
All right, and everybody, thank you so much for listening to this episode. Again, you heard Ashton and all of her social media that you can follow her on. And make sure you check out our website and check out our Instagram. We post all of our updates on there. And make sure you're subscribed to the email because Katie does an amazing job. On the email, there's always a free little gift or information or whatever. It's really nicely done. So make sure you're following us and all that. Well, until next episode, I'm Melissa.
And I'm Katie,
And this is the Coffee Experiment.
the podcast for coffee lovers.
Bye.